Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. That is right. You are seeing your screen right. We are back after a 3-week hiatus. That's right. Your boy Ace is back with his co-host, none other than Mr. Isaiah Leong, and you're watching another episode of Kicking It with Isaiah and Ace. How are you doing it tonight, my man?
Ace, it's good to see you again, my man. It's great to be back doing this show. I've missed it for the last 3 weeks. We both have had our stuff going on. Me going to Florida and the Bahamas. I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk about that tonight because I got a lot of wacky stories that happened while I was in the Sunshine State, but. It was great. Even though I missed doing the show for 3 weeks, it was fun. Got to relax a bit, so that was good. And even go on a cruise ship, which was nice. But Ace, while I was in Florida, and I think I told you this on when we were texting back and forth, is I think I found myself a new drink, and that is this Coca-Cola coffee thing that they released, I believe, a couple of years back. And I never knew that Coca-Cola made a product with coffee. So when I went to Florida, I was stunned to find it out. And I bought like 5 cans back with me to the Bay Area, and it's not that bad. I'll say it's like imagine a mocha frappuccino mixed with Coca-Cola on the inside. It's like Coke and coffee, two of the best things in the world coming together, man. It's amazing. It is flat out amazing.
That actually, if I drank coffee or if I drank soda, I would definitely agree with you. I don't really drink soda. I haven't drank soda since like the age of 18. So it's been like a good 14 years since I've drank soda. And yes, Christy Wilson, this show is back. It is back. It is new and approved, and we are here and we are excited. But before we go ahead and jump into things, we have to introduce our special guest for the evening. That's right. It's that man, Mr. James Gonzalez.
I'm here. Yeah. Hey, man, it's good to see you two back together, man. Not like that, but you know what I mean. Doing the show. Yep. We'll see who else drops by. I really want to hear the stories, of Isaiah in Florida, because I'm hoping he got bit by an alligator, something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, Isaiah, you brought how many cans back of that Coke with you?
I brought 5 of them back because, I was just like, man, I thought this was just a Florida staple. I didn't know you could get it at your nearby Walmart or Target or Safeway. So I was like, yeah, man, I could only get this in Florida. I got to bring as much back as possible. So I brought it back into my luggage had it delivered back to the Bay Area via the plane. But I'm glad that it didn't explode in the suitcase. Because imagine if it exploded, you get 5 of these cans exploding in the suitcase. Man, my clothes would be all dripping with Coke, and it would be all disgusting.
So, Isaiah, just really quick here, we have a comment here from Brandon who's saying, cans of what? I think he missed when you first came out and was talking about it. So it's like Coca-Cola coffee.
Yep. Coca-Cola coffee.
Okay. Well, see, that when it comes down to it, yes, I love coffee. That's something I drink, but I'm not big on soda. So that's kind of where it's like up and down. Does it have more of a soda flavor or more of a coffee flavor?
I think that it has more of a coffee flavored, but you could still taste the Coke. It's like a mocha frappuccino without the whipped cream and the chocolate drizzle that they put on the mocha frappuccino. It's like that with Coke mixed in. So it's like a combination of both. You could I would say it's probably like 60%. You could taste like the mocha, because mine that I'm drinking right now is mocha flavor, but they do have like French vanilla. They have a dark blend flavor. I think they even have a Kona coffee flavor. But the mocha flavor I'm tasting right now, it's like 60% mocha, and then it's like another 40% Coke.
So, Christy's saying, I see Coke and coffee at my local grocery store all the time. And then Brandon's saying that they have that in Minnesota too. I'm sure they probably have it in Oregon. I just don't really look out for it all that much. But now that you're kind of talking about it, it makes me kind of want to try it, just because I love coffee. But let me specify though. Okay, when it comes to coffee and I go to order coffee, James, do you happen to drink coffee?
Rarely.
Okay. When you drink coffee, what type of coffee do you drink? Do you have to have it a specific way?
I like my sugar with coffee and cream.
Okay.
Basically.
So when I go to order coffee, how I order coffee is I simply say, I want a human cup of coffee. And a lot of times they go, what's that? I'm like, take the regular coffee, put it in a cup. That's what I want. It's a human cup. To me personally, I'm not used to this foo-foo like crap that people go out and buy now that's like pure sugar. It's like 200 like grams of sugar every time you drink one of those foo-foo coffees. That's not me. Like, I'm not used to all that stuff. Like, I legitimately, and this sounds weird because one of my old jobs, I was a barista, so I made coffee. But it sounds weird when I would actually say I would almost try and talk people out of getting the bad coffees. I would be like, are you really sure? Because it's like packed with sugar. And they go, yeah. And I'm like, all right, if that's really what you want.
Are you talking about like that Starbucks, like the Starbucks Frappuccino in like the glass bottles? Are you talking about that in terms of like bad coffee?
Well, no, I'm not talking about coffee like that. What I'm talking about, are you talking about like the foo-foo coffee that I mentioned?
Yeah, like the foo-foo
No.
coffees.
No, the foo-foo coffee that I'm talking about, this good old foo-foo coffee, let's clarify here. This foo-foo coffee that I shall be talking about is when somebody comes up and they go, okay, I would like this blended mocha with like banana and strawberry, and I'm like, that's a coffee? I'm like, why? Like, why? How's that even? Yeah, I mean, I get that it has some shots in it, some shots of espresso, but most of it's freaking sugar. Most of it's sugar. And so Tim is saying Starbucks, and he's putting that green face because Christy's like, I love the white chocolate mochas from Starbucks. And Brandon's also saying, glad Isaiah can add 60% and 40% to make 100%. So
the tan got me smarter from my trip to Florida. It got me smarter.
Are you sure? Because some of your takes still are not there. But anyways, let me jump into this. So, we can kind of talk about kind of what we've been doing over the course of the last several weeks here. So a lot of people may not know this, and James, I don't even think I've told you this or like anybody, but basically over the last like week or so, I've basically been on a diet, right? So yeah, it's been rough. Like I haven't been eating anything with sugar in it. I've been cutting out a lot of the carbs. I've been eating a bunch of salad, a bunch of fish, healthy things. And I'll tell you, it's been the roughest week of my life. It has been complete and utter, like, it's been tough. Boy, has it been tough. So that's kind of what I've done over this last week. But before that, it's been kind of working a lot and doing that kind of work thing. And so we have some comments rolling in here. Brandon's like, the tan got you smarter. That is 100% BS. And Tim is saying, what is on Isaiah's lip? It's hairy. And then And then Christy's saying, I try and do portion control, but it's hard. Portion control, that's another thing that you can try and do. But the problem is, so, like, people are supporting me and trying to do this whole healthy eating and trying to cut back. Like, the wife is very supportive about it, too. Like, she'll tell me, if I'm going after something that I shouldn't be, she's like, remember, you're on your diet. Don't touch it. You're doing great. And I'd be like, okay. Then you have these people like, I'm going to work and they're like, well, it's okay if you have this every once in a while. You just can't. But I tell them, like, the problem is this. The problem is if I go in and I'm like, I want 1 or 2 cookies, right? So I take these 1 or 2 cookies, and let's say I eat 2 cookies. 2's not enough. And then I have to pick up a 3rd one. And then I have to have a 4th one. Then I have to have a 5th one. So the problem is I don't do portion control well. I can't say no. So to me personally, I'm like, I just have to back away and just say no. Like, don't even have it, because it's not my self-control there. As James busting out the chips, gosh dang you, I hate you right now. I hate you right now. You're making this hard on me. Dang it.
Should I bust out the banana split sundae too?
Oh,
Go at it.
dude, that's one of my favorite snacks. No, that's one of my favorite desserts.
James is making ace
If I could
just
straight up
right now on
come
the
through
show.
this, if I could come through this screen, I would drop kick you right now if I could. You're making this so difficult on me.
No, dude, I have a problem with portion control, man, and stress eating. Like, I'll eat at the worst times too, and it's just something I have to, like, really stop and curve and whatnot. So maybe going broke will help me. I don't know. But there's just so much temptation out there to get, like, whatever you want. You know what I mean? When you go buy something, when you go drive by somewhere, you're like, ooh, that looks good, but I shouldn't. It's always tough, though. It's really tough.
Well, there's always things around you. There's always going to be stuff around you that when you're trying to be good, there's going to be these things around you that you're going to be like, gosh, dang it, I'm trying to be good, but I can't do it because there's all this bad stuff. Like, there's been so many times over, especially the last couple days, that I'm like, dude, this is getting rough, because I see these things and I want to grab them off the shelf, or I want to grab them out of my kitchen because it's sitting right there, and the kids are walking by and I get a whiff of whatever they're eating, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want that. I want that. I want that so freaking bad. And the thing is you have to sit there and tell yourself no. Like when I'm at work and we're taking a lunch break and we're all sitting in this one room and we're eating, and I look down at my plate and I have this salad with snack peas and grapes.
Water.
And then I see these other people around me and they have like these juicy burgers and they have slices of pizza, and I'm like, man, and like, you want to stay and have lunch? And I'm like, I want to eat lunch with you guys, but right now you're making it pretty dang hard with me right now, because all I want is what you have.
Yeah.
That's
like
all I
burger
want.
or a slice of pizza.
I have lost some weight, so that's been really good.
Good.
Isaiah, I've
Good.
seen you like show food on the screen before, and you're like, this is what I eat. I'm telling you, it's not going to hit you until you start getting in your 30s, and that's when it's going to really hit you. Because I ate the same way that you're eating now, all junk, all crap, and I could not gain weight. And then I got in my 30s, and I'm like, oh, good Lord, what just happened? And then all of a sudden I started getting bigger, and I'm like, I can't run like I used to. I can't do any of the stuff like I used to. So I'm like, I gotta start losing weight. And so I've been really pushing for it, doing the best I possibly can, and I'm sticking to it. So James, to me, it sounds like you would have a difficult time too.
No, I have been. But the thing is, there's been a lot of things that I would continually eat throughout the years. but now I'm starting to either my taste buds or my stomach is sick of it, so I have less of it. It's like less Cheetos, like less Cheez-Its I can think of. Just whatever I used to go through and have almost daily now is like, I think my body and my insides are telling me like, hey, dude, you need to stop. Like you need to, and I could really attest to what you're saying about as you get older, you're like, man, oh no, I could run from here to there. Oh, I could go on this trail and do it well and not have to worry about breathing. No, that's not the case at all. I'm struggling where I used to be like, oh, I'll do this no matter what. I'm good. So I gotta be better in that aspect, and I gotta get like you, Ace, with that. And I've tried that before. I've tried that for a couple of days, and then just something would come up and be like, no, I gotta have it. Like it's about what 10:30, right? Or it's gonna be 10 o'clock. I feel like ordering a pizza right now, but we're doing the show.
That's funny. I had pizza for dinner.
I feel like, hey, what's open right now?
Buffalo Wild Wings. Can I have an order of barbecue wings, please?
Hello, Domino's.
Domino's right down the street too.
Domino's
So
right down the street,
it's
yeah.
so tempting.
No, yeah. I mean, it's definitely like my biggest thing. What really made me start doing this, like I got back in the running thing again, and I used to run long distance all the time, and I used to be really, really quick in school. And when I ran the mile in school, I could run it in like 5 minutes and 15 seconds in school and stuff. Well, I ran a mile and I ran it in like 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and I was like, dude, I lost over a full minute off. I'm like, there's no freaking way. I should have lost a full minute off my mile. And then I weighed myself and I'm like, okay, I've never been that big. I was like, no, I've never been this weight in my life. I was like, I have to do something. And so Brandon's saying baked potatoes with Fruit Loops. I guess that's Isaiah's secret. Isaiah, is that your secret?
Well, when I went on my cruise, I actually had it. It was great. They had a baked potato station where they would make the potatoes for you, right? And I asked the chef, I was like, hey, so I want to do a special baked potato, something that you probably have never done before, where instead of putting the sour cream, you put ketchup instead, and I would have like bacon, cheese, and then I asked like, hey, I know we serve breakfast on the ship, so I know you probably still have a lot of it. Can we have some Fruit Loops, please? Because I want to have the Fruit Loops, the bacon, the chives with ketchup, and some barbecue sauce. It was actually good. It was great, actually.
That sounds gross.
It was tremendous too. And then after that, I don't know if I told you, Ace, but they had like a little pasta station, and I think you guys saw my post on Facebook the other day where I was like, strawberries are like the best food in the world. You can put it on anything and it'll go great. So what I did was, I know a lot of people do mac and cheese with bacon bites. Instead of the bacon bites, I did mac and cheese, and I went to the dessert bar, got myself some diced strawberries, put it all in there, mixed it all up. It was actually decent. It was decent. It was not bad. So
wait, did you just say you put strawberries with mac and cheese?
Strawberry bites, yes, diced strawberries and mac and cheese. It was actually really good. I recommend all of you.
Were you dropped on your head as a child?
No, I just wanted to try like some interesting things, because I was like, I'm on a ship right now. It's all you can eat. They're open 24/7. It's like,
yeah, I get that it's an all you can eat, but they're not saying take all you can eat and mix it together.
Right.
Like, that's not the point of a freaking buffet.
Yeah, I used to work at a Golden Corral. Same thing.
I also did chocolate ice cream with, instead of sprinkles, bacon bites. That was not bad too. That was not bad at all.
I would try that. Actually.
I think bacon goes great with a lot of things, just not chocolate ice cream.
I would try that actually. That doesn't sound so bad. But the thing is, you cannot fault Isaiah for this. He is getting all his food groups all in one.
Right.
but
Yeah.
still, it's weird combinations.
It is.
I mean, that's freaking weird, dude.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
yuck. It's like disgusting.
You wouldn't
System
try
overload.
macaroni and cheese with strawberry,
Hell
diced
no.
strawberries?
No.
No. I'm not gonna try that, dude.
I mean,
But you
I
got
love
your
mac and cheese,
meat,
but I would not put
You got
strawberries.
your dairy, you got your fruit. You know, it's a all-in-one combination.
So you know what's funny is I look in James's screen, right, and he has that red A behind him, but when he sits like perfectly, his head sits like right in the middle of the A, and so it looks like he's wearing this giant A. Like it looks like he's wearing a giant hat. It's like an Asian.
Hey, luckily the A isn't all white, or it looked like something else.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, it's funny though. It looks like you're wearing this giant A. It's like it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Isaiah's Brandon saying mac and cheese with strawberry proves that the tan did not make you smarter.
Exactly.
Maybe I
It's
need
true.
to tan more. Maybe
It's
that's
true.
the secret.
No, I don't know about
So
that.
you know, there's one really true topic that I really want to talk about tonight,
Uh-huh.
because it's kind of been a topic that it's kind of been talked about quite a bit. Not, I don't know, maybe a lot of podcasts haven't talked about it, but gets talked about on the news a lot, because I want to get everyone's thought about this personally.
Right.
Okay, so we had another school shooting just recently, right? Another school shooting, a freaking elementary school. Again, for some reason, I don't know why people are targeting little kids. Is beyond me. I don't get it. But
I don't get it either.
my question is this: like personally, I'm sitting here wondering, and I'm like, okay, at what point do we do something, and at what point, what do we do exactly? And the reason why I'm saying what do we do is, look, I can sit here and say, hey, I'm okay personally if we have some armed guards, you know, hanging around the school, you know, personally if maybe some teachers or something might get to carry weapons. People are against that. People are against the armed guards. People are against, well, let's not take these AKs and stuff away. I'm like, okay, you want people to do something, yet when anything's mentioned, you're like, well, accept that. And I'm like, well, then what do you want to do? Like, personally, I think we need some kind of like heavy, like, law enforcement around that hangs around the school.
Yep.
Like armed people around
Yeah.
the school, but people are against it because they don't want weapons. And I'm like, well, then what do you want exactly? Like, to me personally, I think having armed people around it would be great. It won't let people in if you have armed people around it. But a lot of people don't want that. I'm like, I don't get it. Why? Just why? So, Isaiah, what's your thoughts on this? What do you think is a good answer?
Well, you know, first of all, I just want to, you know, give my condolences out to the families of the kids that were shot. I know that when it happened, I was really scared for my guy Trey, who I know lived in like that San Antonio area. I immediately reached out to him and asked if his daughter was okay, because I know his little girl goes to elementary school, and I knew that they lived in that sort of area, so I didn't know if his daughter was in that type of school or in that school. So I'm glad that him and his daughter and his family is safe. But in terms of, you know, what I think that we should do, I just think that we have to go drastic. And I think I told James this, but if I was elected president of the United States, the first two things I would do is and whether you like it or not, but I would ban every American the right to bear arms, because I think that, except the military, Because I think when you look at this right now, and I agree with you, Ace, I think that we do need security guards, armed guards around the schools. But all this gun reform stuff, it's a good start. Don't get me wrong, but I really don't think it's going to curb the problem, because there's a lot of shops out there, gun shops, that these psychomaniacs are going to somehow, some way manage to slip through the cracks and somehow, some way obtain a gun, no matter what law you pass, and then they're going to end up just shooting up a school or shooting up a mall just because they're not happy with what is going on in society. So I really think that, and I know it's probably never going to happen, but I think that what we need to do is we definitely need to send more guards to the school. Like, I know every school right now, and Chris and James and Christy and Ace, I think right now every school is supposed to have a school resource officer.
Yeah.
But I think we definitely need more. Like, I would say probably five officers per school. If they could make that happen, it would definitely make the schools a lot safer. And I just think we have to, if you're gonna do something, and I know it's drastic, but I think we have to ban guns in general.
All right, so Brandon's saying armed guards would be a great start. Anything, what about not blasting it all over the media, because he's saying, that's kind of what they want. But I think in reality, I think they just want to let people know exactly what's going on, even though it does, cause this giant uproar right now to where people are saying, what's going to happen, what's going to be done. So James, what's your thought? To you, what's a great starting point?
Well, this is what we get. This is the price of freedom. To bear arms, that amendment. You're not going to take everybody's guns away, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Background checks can only do so much until somebody gets a hold of a gun that isn't theirs. You can protect the schools all you want, but again, we have to remember there's been a decline in police force because of things going on in the country.
Yep.
Just persuasion of that is making less people safe, to be honest with you, everywhere. And I don't think anything's going to change unless you have more force. But there's people that don't think that. And with that, these school shootings, plaza shootings, wherever happen. And it always seems coordinated to me. It's always around election time, it seems like something happens, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what always bugs me, because, I used to be straight on everything, like, everything's good, the government will handle everything, and now it's kind of, my eyes kind of wide open and, thinking of how things are coordinated and related. So I guess all you can do is have someone guard it there at every school, like it kind of is already, or they're on the fast track to get to the school if anything happens. I think the heartbreaking part was seeing the parents outside of the school, and you have all the sheriffs, standing around just guarding the place. That was kind of telling to me, thinking, well, there should be more force inside the school trying to stop the shooter. But the thing is, things have been going on like this a long time. I guess all you can really do to kind of curb this is have metal detectors at all schools, if it has to be that way. We have that at airports. We have it at, events. We have it, we don't have it at enough places, honestly. Your local drugstore has, the little thing that goes off if something metal is in your pocket. Well, it looks like not only those dangerous schools need it, but it seems like every school needs metal detectors, and that's all I could really think of right now. And then make it real tough for anybody to get in that doesn't belong, honestly. And I heard someone say, hey, you can lock every door, you can make every window bulletproof glass, but when the kids are all outside on recess and playing, and the school has those open wide fences, well, there's a target right there for somebody out in public. So it's really tough to, block it all off unless you build some bricks around the fence or something where no one can get through, no one can see the kids. That's all I could really think of. But metal detectors and more force. That's all I could think of, really.
All right, and welcome Ishmael. We're glad to see you here tonight. So Ishmael says, rip to all the kids that horrifically passed in the shooting, and prayers up to their families as they're going through this exceptionally tough time. It is. I mean, I personally can't sit here and tell you what they're going through because I have no idea, because I haven't lost a child. So I can't tell you, exactly what they're going through, but I can imagine, and I can imagine it's rough. So that's why I'm saying my condolences, because even we can sit here and be empathetic and tell you, that we know, but we don't know how they feel. We don't, because it hasn't happened to us. All right. So, Christy, what is your thoughts?
This is just a horrific tragedy that never should have happened, and I do support the right to bear arms, but I also safety needs to be first. And I agree with James that we need to have metal detectors. The police, no more defunding the police. They need the money. We need more police officers, because this is just getting ridiculous.
All right, Chris, what is your thought on this?
No,
Because it's kind of around your neck of the woods, right? Well, I don't know how close it was
it's
to
in the
you,
state, but it's
Yeah.
a few hours away. No, I think we should have right to bear arms. I think we should have a right to have a way to protect ourselves when needed, but I think who should have that, protection should go through a more thorough background check.
Yep.
Maybe change the age limit, to maybe 20 or 21.
21
I don't
maybe?
know. Yeah. And then maybe do a mental evaluation. I don't know, but something like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, all these are great starts. I just kind of want to throw that out there, get everybody's opinion on, where you guys thought would be a great resting spot. But I think all of us here at C2C on the show and everything want to let everybody know our condolences are definitely out there. And so we pray for all those families. We pray for all the kids. And me personally, if you go in there and you do that to kids in an elementary school, like, there's one word that I have for you. You're a pure coward.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You are a coward when you have to do that. And so it's but that's really all I want to say about that one. So Ishmael's saying, I want to hear Isaiah's stories in Florida. We have a Florida man right here. So those Florida man stories.
Here we go. Let's do it.
We can have those Florida man stories.
Florida man.
I know one of them, Isaiah. I know one of them. You were talking about the waiter that you was like, the waiter was like walking by, you bumped into the waiter, you knocked all of the drinks off of his tray, all the food, everything off of his tray.
On the cruise ship, nonetheless. But I mean, there's a lot, man. I don't even know, like, really where to begin. I mean, the first well, first of all, let me say this: Florida was an exceptional place to be. If you want to go down to Florida, now is the best time to go because it is not that hot, and it's not that humid. It's like perfect. You got the weather being just really nice. So if you want to go, now is like the perfect time to go. If you go in like July, August, it's gonna be hot, mucky, humid, sticky. Like you would not enjoy it. But I know. So the first like day we were in Florida, I remember we went to this place called Gatorland, and I had to drink Gatorade at Gatorland because it would be a Gator experience. No pun intended. But we went to Gatorland, right? And we saw like live alligators and live crocodiles, and I know that they had like a plexiglass guarding you from the alligator and the crocodiles, but there was an area where there wasn't really a plexiglass. There was like a fence with a lot of bars on it. So I just went up to that little fence, and I was eating. I forgot what I think I was eating a hot dog. I was eating like the Gatorland special hot dog where they put macaroni and cheese and bacon all over it, and it was like probably a 400-calorie meal. But I was eating it, and I shouldn't have done this, but I was like, I guess I was just trying to like see if the gator would actually like listen to me. So I took the hot dog and I kind of stuck it close to like that little fence area, and I was like, "Hey, gator, gator, gator! Hey, gator, gator, gator!
Yeah.
Come here!" And then I'm not lying. Out of nowhere, this alligator, like big guy, man, he comes running towards the fence area, and all of a sudden, I'm like, "Hey, gator, gator, gator!" I see this alligator open its mouth as it's running towards the fence area and snap, and I freak out and I run back because I'm like, I know there was a fence, but still, like, there's still a little bit of holes in that fence, and I didn't want to, my foot or get too close and the alligator's teeth gets caught in my knee or whatever. So that was like something that I definitely shouldn't have done. Another one was, I was and this was like me being stupid, but and I think James knows what I was talking about, and that is like, so I was on the cruise ship, and I know a couple of my friends were telling me how, Isaiah, cruise ships are the hotbeds for COVID and viruses and all that stuff, and I didn't really listen to them. I was just like, I want to go on this cruise because this might be my last time ever going on a cruise, and I want to make up for all the times I just spent in my cruise dorm room and just stayed there watching sports. And what happened was, so I get cleared, right? I get the negative COVID test. I get cleared to board the ship. And then, I send the video out from my cruise, from the suite that I'm in the cruise. And I'm like, "Hey, Steven, James, Callan, all those guys." I'm like, "Hey, you guys remember you guys were talking about the COVID thing? Well, I'm negative for the virus. This virus can't infiltrate my body. Nothing can get through me. All I just need to do is drink coffee. All I just need to do is drink coffee."
Nobody's telling me yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I said, like, all I just need to do is like drink coffee, cure the virus or prevent the virus from happening. And then literally like 2 days after I get off the cruise, I get COVID. I got COVID in Florida, and it was not a good experience. So never, ever, ever, ever be cocky and be bragging about how your body's not going to be able, or a virus is not going to be able to infiltrate your body. And I would say the other like notable story was, oh my gosh, so I was in the Bahamas, right? This is not like a Florida man story, but it sounds like a Florida man story. But I was in the Bahamas, and I was swimming. So I was swimming in the Bahamas, and after, when I took a break from swimming, and I told my mom, who was there with me, she was like, Isaiah, watch out! Don't be standing near the water, or don't be standing like in the water and talking to us. If you're going to talk to us, get into the sand area, because you don't want a giant wave to come over and sweep you out, and you're going to go head first, like smack into the water. But then I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen to me. I'm like 6 feet tall. I'm good. No wave is going to sweep this guy off his feet. And then I'm talking to my phone.
Right?
Yeah, and the next thing I know is I'm talking to my folks, and I'm like standing in the water while talking to my folks about something. I forgot what it was. And then all of a sudden, a giant wave comes in and boom, hits me in the back. My head smacks head first into the water, head into the sand, and I tumble into like the ocean. And then what ends up happening is I get up, right? And what I didn't notice was I really did not have a shirt on, because I went swimming without a shirt on. I had my swim trunks. What I didn't notice is when I got back up to talk to my folks, I saw a lot of people were staring at me, and some people were like kind of laughing and turning away. I was kind of like, what's going on? And I was talking to my folks again, and then my mom was like, Isaiah, you don't have pants on. You don't have pants on. Like, I guess what happened was the wave, when it swept me down, it took my swim trunks out into the open sea, and I was completely like naked standing up, and I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me, man. I got like hundreds of Bahamian people just coming and seeing my whole body from head to toe, and I was like, oh man, that's so embarrassing, man.
Oh boy.
Good old Isaiah.
Yeah.
When Isaiah's like, well, I did something that wasn't smart, as like he's thinking that when he says that, like we're gonna be surprised or something.
Right.
And we're like, nothing new. Nothing
Crazy
new.
stuff like that only happens to Isaiah.
But see, this is why I feel like I'm like the most unlucky person on earth, because it's like, what is the chances that when you're swimming, right? When you're swimming and a wave, or you're standing in like by the part where the water meets the sand, and you're just talking to people, and then all of a sudden a giant wave comes and crashes into you, smacks you straight down, and you lose your swim trunks, and your entire body is out there for people to see. It's like that really never really happened. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. It feels like every time I'm on a trip, I'm at work or anything like that, I feel like just some unlucky stuff always just seems to happen to me. I don't know why.
You're Isaiah.
There you go.
The jinx is real.
There you go.
The jinx is definitely real. James, just to tell you too, like Isaiah talked about getting a Angel shirt or jersey.
Oh, don't let that happen.
Yeah, tell him no. Tell him, don't jinx my team.
No.
He's like, no.
At this point, it doesn't matter, because it's like, oh, they're probably gonna move, and I'll be a fan, but I won't be as dedicated. And life goes on, and
Right.
it's like once they keep losing, it's like, oh, I'm not in it anymore like I used to be. It just,
souvenirs
you
here.
grow up, I guess. I really wanted to ask people this as a topic real quick.
Yeah.
Recently in baseball, there was these two guys fighting, or one guy slapped another guy because of fantasy football.
What?
A little issue with their group. But I was wondering, I haven't seen it in a while where I've worked, but where you three have worked, like in the workplace, have you seen an actual fight go down?
No, like for me personally, okay, well, it depends, okay? So where I work, how it works for us is like really, really different, because I work in the IDD field. So, so I work with individuals who have like autism and things like that. And so, we support those individuals. And so there are times to where we deal with behaviors that require intervention and stuff. But the thing is like, if we're talking about among like staff
Coworkers.
yeah, I was gonna say among like coworkers, I haven't really like the only craziest thing I've seen was like somebody leaving and then coming back and confronting that staff after they got fired and came back. That was probably the craziest thing that other than that, no, I haven't really had it because we have like a really good, team oriented environment. So for us, we kind of keep it like that. And so we're kind of like a no BS. We don't put up with any of that. So
Isaiah, is there enough ushers at your job to have a disturbance?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, James, because there was actually a recent incident that actually happened at work that I've been trying to get off my chest, and that it wasn't involving me, thankfully, but I was in the locker room. Yeah, hey, first of all, I would never get into any of those things because I know with how skinny I am that one of my coworkers could just pick me up and just, Brock Lesnar body slam me onto that table.
I would love to see that.
I don't know if I use that wrestling analogy right, but I'll just go with it. But
you got something right.
But so what happened was at the end of the night, this was after an A's game. At the end of the night, the security folks and the ushers were in like the same locker room area, getting our stuff and checking out. It's like a whole room that we have for our workers. And I don't know why, but I was in the middle of just buying a strawberry kiwi Snapple from the machine, and the machine for some reason ate my $2 that I put in, which makes no sense. But what happened was, after that happened to me, the two security guards started like getting into it out of nowhere. It started with this like gentleman, he's just minding his own business, and then this lady comes over and she taps him on the back, and she's like, "Yo, you have a problem with me, man?" And he's like, "No, what are you talking about?" And then she starts yelling about something that happened, and I guess she didn't like his attitude towards her. And then she's like, if you ever disrespect me like that, I'm gonna bitch slap you in front of everybody, man. You better not come at me once again." And everybody was just like, whoa, this is actually gonna go down in the middle of our locker room. And you started having like people bringing out their phones and recording like they typically do. But then like for some reason, thankfully, it was in the middle of our entire employee locker room, or not locker room, but it was in the middle of our entire employee briefing room area. And thankfully, you had the managers and the area directors being there to separate both of them, because if they weren't there and a lot of the staff members wasn't there, and it was just like those two and a bunch of other ushers, something would have gone down. And when something goes down between two people, their friends get involved. Those people else that want to fight, they get involved, and it turns into a whole brawl. So it was just like a yelling fest, but thankfully it didn't really turn out to be anything more than that.
Yikes.
How about you, Christy? Anytime any coworkers go at it or arguments?
No, not really. I mean, I work in fast food, and where I work right now, we have a really good group of employees, and we all get along pretty well. But yeah, we might get snippy to each other, but we're not going to try and like beat the crap out of each other. We always try and keep an eye out on the customers, and majority of the time the customers are usually really good. So never had that sort of thing happen at my job.
Yeah, I haven't had anything the whole time. It's 9 years I've been at my job, and I can't remember like anything going down.
Yeah.
Maybe a little argument, but I never see it or hear it, but people tell me about it.
Yeah.
So I'm never there for anything, it seems like.
But that's like a typical thing, right? All these things happen when you're not there.
Right.
And then when you're out there, they tell you, "Hey, did you see this happen at work?" You're like, "No.
I wasn't here for that."
The stuff never happens when I'm around. And so Brandon's saying, "Oh, I would go Will Smith on a coworker over 2 cents if I needed to."
Smack.
I mean, some people definitely would. You know, they. I mean, really, the only. And it wasn't like this current job that I'm at, but it was at like an old job when I worked at this coffee bar, and sometimes we'd sit in there and like listen to music or whatever. And the guy wasn't even angry at a customer; he was angry at the CD player because like the CD player kept skipping the song,
Oh.
and the dude got mad and he went up and like punched it. And he started grabbing the CD player and like ripping the top off. And he started slamming it down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at this dude and I'm like, I'm in this little shack making coffee with this guy, and he's like breaking. I was like, is this like roid rage or what's going on right now? I was like, what in the heck is going on?
Hey, Ace, I wanna sound young right now.
Yo,
What's a CD player?
As long as we're iPods.
wait. I think I got this. Compact disc.
What's a CD disc?
How about a VCR? What's a VCR?
I just wanted to sound young once. I mean,
Actually, to be
Sure.
perfectly honest, I don't know what the acronym stands for VCR.
Video cassette
video
recorder.
cassette recording.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I knew that. It was a flat out test. I was just testing you. Yeah, I was
Holy
flat
moly.
out. I was flat out testing you on that one. I've this bumblebee. Bumblebee.
Oh, jeez.
Hey Isaiah, there's a spider above your head.
Oh my!
Spider! Can't get over that.
Right?
Yeah.
I like that.
That's
I
so
like
good.
that. Spider. Spider.
COVID.
Really, James? Come on, man.
Bum.
Karma.
Don't mess
Please
with
shouldn't.
karma. Whatever you
Wow.
do, do not mess with karma.
Never mess with karma. It'll come and bite you in the you-know-what.
Right. I kind of wanted to finish this one off on like a little fun thing here, a little fun thing here. So, two final questions. Give me a fun fact about yourself, and if you could have any superpower, what superpower would you like to have?
Ooh.
And so, Isaiah, go ahead and give us a little fun fact about yourself. And if you could have any superpower, what would that superpower be?
A little fun fact about myself. Well, a little fun fact about myself is I've actually been to more than half of the Major League Baseball stadiums in the world, and I own like every team's apparel in baseball. Like every team, I have something, whether it's a shirt, a jersey, or like a pair of socks or something like that. And I would say like superpower. Ooh, that's tough. Superpower. My superpower would probably be like what Spider-Man has, because I watched that movie with Peter Parker and Spider-Man for the first time in my life, and I really got, you know, what's that word? I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but
I have no idea.
Spidey sense.
Spidey sense.
I really got. Dang, English is not like my greatest language, but I really got, you know, not improved, but I really got fantasized by it, because I was like, dang, Peter Parker with his ability to spray his little white webs everywhere and then climb up it. And dude, if I had that power to make webs and I can just climb the webs, you know, I don't even need to travel anywhere anymore. using a plane or a boat. I could just make a web from California to Hawaii and just climb that thing as a bridge from California to Hawaii. You know, imagine the money you would save from not having to do that, from not having to pay for a plane. And you could, you know, anytime you want to skydive, here, make a web, you save yourself. You bounce off the web.
You mean bungee jumping?
Yeah, exactly. Bungee jumping. Anytime you see like a guy trying to rob a store, here, web that guy, you'll catch him. It's like the perfect superpower.
All right, so
Spider-Man.
So we have a few comments here. So Tim saying every baseball stadium in the world, ... And then Brandon saying Isaiah's superpower would be getting a tan to be smarter. And so
I'm actually going to San Diego and Hawaii coming up. So
I'm going to take a shot in the dark here. And Isaiah, I'm going to try and guess where you were born. And I don't want to say that you were born in California. I'm not going to say it. I want to, but I'm not.
You're correct. I wasn't born in California.
There's a hint, Ace.
I wasn't born on the moon.
I know. I was definitely going to say Hawaii. Was going to be the other one. I was going to say Hawaii.
Yes, I was born on the islands of Honolulu.
Should have stayed there.
Honolulu's not a state, but I was born on the islands.
Wow.
I was born on the islands of Hawaii. So that's why I like the beach. You know, I like the beach. I like that tropical paradise things for vacation. That's why I always go to like the paradise places.
All right. James, how about you? A fun fact and a superpower. Before we get to it, I'm going to try and guess where you were born. And I'm just going to stick with the easy one, and I'm just going to say LA, because you're like an LA fan of everything, so I'm just going to say LA.
No, yeah, LA County, but I'm all over the place now. I live in northern San Diego now, kind of by the beach. It's really nice. Fun fact, I'm fun size.
Fun size, okay.
Yeah, I do like doing reels and podcasts on Instagram and other places and all that. I like going out places. I'm starting to do more trail walks. So my feet are hurting more now, but it's a good way to exercise. And I think a special power, kind of what Isaiah, I'm piggybacking on what he said, to fly, the ability to fly. So what he was thinking, yeah, hey, you can fly to work, you can fly to wherever and just land and then take off. I think that would be so cool. And everybody would look up at the gas stations and be like, oh, I want to do that. I don't have to pay for anything. So, yeah, I think the ability to fly would be exceptional.
All right. And Christy, I'm going to take a shot in the dark here really quick with you. And if I had to guess where you were born, I don't know why, but something keeps coming up in my head that I want to say Texas. I don't know why. Just something makes me want to say Texas. I don't know why. It's just something.
No, not from Texas. James, what are you doing?
Then I have no idea.
On the horse and lasso.
No.
That was just what was coming up in my mind. So I was just saying Texas.
And, cowboys riding horses with lassos and rodeos and all that, but no, I'm from a little town in upstate New York.
Really?
Oh, okay. Okay, I never would have guessed that. I seriously never would have guessed that.
Yeah. My father was in the Air Force, and he was from New York City. So my mom, fun fact about me, I visited New York City several times. And even went to the back of the Empire State Building with my grandma at 12. So that was cool. It was really fun.
All right.
As for superpower, probably fly. I think probably fly back to New York or fly to Texas or fly to Florida, where I've been to twice, but I've been to Tampa, and that was a really nice place. So just the ability just to fly and just go wherever I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. So Ishmael saying, I thought Isaiah's superpower was going to be being nude because apparently he loves showing off his stuff to folks. And then Brandon saying Isaiah can't even name all the stadiums he's been to. And then Nate saying my superpower would be the ability to control water anywhere in the world. So
That's not bad though. You could be like Aquaman.
right? I don't know, a little fun fact about myself. I have a foot. I don't know. No, I was just kidding. I don't really.
You and Rex Ryan sharing stories on the phone.
Right? It's like a little fun fact about myself. My favorite teams are kind of spread everywhere around the world. You like never know where my favorite teams are gonna be from. That, and I'm actually, what's up, peeps? So Coast to Coast Entertainment saying, "What's up, peeps?" So what's going on? Hope you're having a good night. Actually, fun fact about myself is I am actually certified to teach several different things. For first aid, CPR, curriculum that we call the organ intervention system. I teach on autism and like everything else. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff that I'm certified to teach. A superpower. If I could have a superpower, I would love to teleport. I would love it because if you could teleport, you could be like, I just want to go here really, really quick to see what it's like, and then you teleport, and they teleport right back, and nobody knows you're gone. Nobody knows you're gone.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. I would love that. So, Ishmael saying my superpower would be to make all my sports teams win.
You could be back to back champions. That'd be great.
They would never lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Never.
Then Nate saying less hurricanes and tsunamis.
Hey, that would be nice.
Nate saying take that back. No hurricanes and tsunamis. Actually.
There you go. No.
So none.
No,
whatsoever.
Nate, that's what you need to do. When you go somewhere, then have it to be hurricanes and tsunamis at whatever place that you were visiting last, so that you don't experience the brunt of it. Like, or not hurricanes and tsunamis, but I'm saying like rain, Let it rain when you're not around. But when you're around, then, you don't have to have the rain in town.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, guess what? We're at that point now. We're at the end of the show. It's been a great first show back. It's been several weeks. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of catching up to do, a lot of topics, a lot of great topics. We're going to have more for you next week. Definitely can't wait for it. We're going to be back with some fire topics again. This week was just about getting caught up. But anyways, Isaiah, go ahead and give us kind of your final thoughts.
My final thoughts is, it was a great first show back. Thanks to Christy and James for hopping on with us as well. We missed you guys so much. We missed the show very much. So it was great to be back. And, I'm looking forward to, what we have in store this upcoming week because I love this show because it gets my mind off the crap that is my baseball teams.
All right. James, any final thoughts for you, sir?
Thank you for having me on. We went pretty much everywhere, it seemed like, tonight, and I didn't mind that. It was a good way to end the night. So thank you for having me on. Good to see everybody again out there.
Absolutely. And Christy.
Just thanks for letting me on. It's just so much fun. I really love it, and I'm just glad it's back.
Oh yeah, this show is always fun, and the point of this show, for any new viewers that are out there and people don't understand, just in case you hop on here and you don't hear us really talking about sports, it's because it's simple. This is not a sports show. We don't talk about sports on the show. We talk about a little bit of everything except sports, because you can get that virtually on any other show on this network. So this one's simply just to kick back, have fun, BS, and just talk random topics. And that's why it's a great way to end the night, because you never know what the heck we're going to talk about.
Exactly.
Even if there's a viewer, they might even throw a comment in the comment box, and we're going to talk about that. So you never really know. So if you just want to hop on, enjoy a great time about random topics, right here's the place to come. So of course, we want to thank everybody for coming back again. Sorry about the 3-week hiatus, but we're back now. So
Yay!
here we are. All right. So everybody, thank you for coming on and watching. You can catch us again next week for another show of Kicking It with Isaiah and Ace. For that, I am Ace. That's Isaiah. And then our special guests, James and Christy. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you, all of our viewers. Thank you, Crispy Bacon. Thank you. And with that, Isaiah might say, my body. My body's telling me, yeah. All right. So, Chris, thank you and have a great night.